We're a manufacturing company, but in the last couple of years, we're also in the retrofit space. So we actually install retrofit projects on sites across the country. They're a challenge in that we go into people's homes, the people have to stay in their homes, and we could be up there for 2 to 3 months at a time. So we have been construction based since our inception 20 years ago, manufacturing insulation. As Caroline said, we implemented the ISO 9001 2015 3 years ago. So we're the first company in Ireland to do it successfully. We implemented it in 3 years, or 3 months. And we also at that time implemented the OHSAS, then 18001. And so, of course, when we were eager to move in that space, we're going for growth, we decided now is the time. We want to be one of the first companies in Ireland to implement the health and safety. There's a number of reasons. Sorry, the slides aren't there. Anyway, I'll turn back to see. Today, Caroline asked me to talk to you about top management leadership, commitment, responsibility, and accountability. And look, this is not business is business, the commercial realities, but every day we work with people. And why is health and safety important? Because people are important. That's a clear message for us. And not just our physical. I just don't want people to go home without a severed leg. I want them to be mentally well. And that's what we're about. So it's about embedding well-being into our people and asking others to do the same. So the people that work with us as well, we're asking them to do the same. And this standard, we find, offers a clear pathway for implementation. Just to be clear, we're at the moment we're implementing it. Our next audit will be audited. So, look, at the end of the day, health and safety is it's about your culture. Our culture, our values underpin our culture. They're about enthusiasm, respect, goal-orientated, urgency, loyalty, integrity, smart work, and people-focused. And if you look at all of these, they're health and safety related, because what we say is culture is what happens when management leave the room. Okay, I have a very busy toddler at home. He's 2, and I am all the time saying to him, "Mind yourself, mind yourself." And it's very simple, and he's learning to mind himself. So to be aware that that's quite a fall there. So don't go off the edge there, son. Maybe climb over it. I use the same philosophy for our team. Mind yourself all the time. That simple things is what we're talking about. And because when I leave the room, I want them to be minding themselves within the structure and within the risks that we outline for them. So again, we're implementing the ISO. Why are we going for it now? We love champagne moments, absolutely love a champagne moment. A time to celebrate, a time that the team can say, actually, we did something before everybody else. We're thought leaders, we're thinking outside the box, and people really matter here. We're also going for growth, and our growth has been really, really fast in the last 3 years. And we're moving at such pace, and all the time, we cannot ignore health and safety. Because we're changing, health and safety needs to become part of each and every process in the organisation. We've set a time scale of 3 to 4 months to get certified, and we're working with CG Business Consulting to help us do that. Look, I think Vivian very well covered off the differences between the ISO 40001 and OHSAS 18001. One of the things we wanted to get from the transition is we still want to be ourselves. So I suppose we don't want health and safety to be seen as a burden. We want it, or an extra resource. We just want it to be about who we are. This is us. We achieve it through team engagement and leadership. And recently, I don't know if any of you have seen, a lot of us are using our mobile phones when we're driving. It's a big thing for us. We have drivers out delivering materials. We have project managers moving from site to site. We have sales teams on the road, and they actually launched a campaign called "Do You Love Me Enough?" And they're asking people that are in the cars with the driver, when they pick up the phone, to say, "Do you love me enough to put away that phone?" And it is a way of engaging with people at a very human level about their health and safety. Do you love me enough to put a guard over your face when you're using a saw or a drill? Do you love me enough to put away that phone when you're driving? And it's a mantra we're now using. I thought it was brilliant, so simple. And even now, my phone usage in the car myself has decreased to, I don't even look at it because my little boy is at the back, and I imagine him saying to me, "Mom, do you love me enough not to use that phone while you're driving?" And I do love him enough, so I've put it away. Leadership, the standard calls for leadership, right? But it's a very subjective thing. How do you know I'm a good leader? How does any auditor know I'm a good leader? And so for us, we had to prove that we were engaging with the team, and so what we did around the quality, the environmental, and now health and safety is we hold workshops with the team. We have strategy meetings with the team where we're talking about health and safety. We're setting our own targets where we want to be better each year in terms of our health and safety output. And we update all of our system, our paperwork as we go. We do a lot of toolbox talks with the teams. And basically we are all talk. And you can tell, like, I'm not short of a few words. But when it comes to health and safety, it's different to you can't just be all talk. You have to walk the talk. And that's really important. So for myself and Noel as directors on the company, we make sure we are cognizant of our health and safety and we implement everything. You will not see us on the factory floor without our ear gear or eye protection. You will not see us walk onto a site without our boots on. It's the simple things. Our team, they reflect what we do. For some of the things around the leadership, some are documented and some are not. You cannot document everything the leadership team do. It's just too subjective. But when they come and talk to us and they come and they talk to our team, it is clear to see that we are doing the leadership part really, really well. Now I'm not this isn't fourth year degree here now or anything, but when we implemented the ISO 14001 and the environmental, the ISO 9001, we had to look at the context of the organisation and strategy. And the whole thing is our strategy is linked to every single thing we do. Health and safety is. They're not separate. So to embed health and safety in everything we do, this is our map. Our mission is to be safe. Our values, we value our people. And because of that, we health and safety is embedded there. We have a vision to be the best we can be in terms of health and safety. Our strategy, our strategy is our game plan. What are we going to do in business? How are we going to achieve that every single day? That game plan is how are we staying safe in everything we do? How, when we decide that we're going to look at a new opportunity, how do we make sure our team is safe? How do we translate that strategy? So if we decide we want to work in the retrofit space as we did, how do we make sure our team is safe in that space? How do we take full advantage of that opportunity, but make sure that our entire system has been updated to reflect those changes in our commercial activity? Balanced scorecard. And that we use a balanced scorecard to review, measure and focus what we are doing in health and safety every day. And I'll give you a little bit more information about that. We have action plans. We also have personal objectives. What do I need to do as an individual, a member of this team, a member supplying goods to this organisation, a subcontractor to this organisation? What are my personal objectives in order to ensure I go home safe and my colleagues go home safe every single day? And ultimately, what are we all looking for? We're looking for a happy family. That's the organisational family and our families at home. We're looking for delighted, engaged customers. If I'm on a site that have small children, we're retrofitting their home, they have small children, we need them to be delighted and engaged that we have looked after them and their family, that when we walk off site in the evening, there's no equipment that could hurt the children. Lean processes. We can implement health and safety along with all of the lean processes, and we end up with a team that can be the best that they can be. That is really, really important. But look, from you guys are sitting here and you go, okay, this is all fine and well, and it's a bit woolly, right? But what does it actually mean in terms of achieving the certification at the end of the day? There's a few things. You have the context of the organisation. that for us is this bit here, the strategic analysis. So in order to understand the context of the organization, we look at customer research, testimonials, feedback. So how is that related to health and safety? Well, you can ask your customers, what did you think about our health and safety record? Are we good or are we bad? Industry trends and activities. So what is happening out there? What is our competitors doing? Competitor benchmarking as well. What is our competitors doing in the health and safety space? Are they better than us? They shouldn't be better than us. We want to be thought leaders. So strategic analysis. We're doing workshops with our team. So when we sit down and we say to our team, what did we do really well last year? And they make a list. And if they haven't got health and safety on that, I have failed. So the workshop should include that. And when myself and Noel, the other director in the company, when we sit down with the company, with the organisation, or all the team, we do it a couple of times a year, and we say, in Champagne Moments, guys, what are we really proud of? At the top of our list is our health and safety record. And our health and safety record about no accidents. A team that are getting home on time in the evenings, a team that are not working at home, a team that are not expected to check emails at night. All of these things, that's where we want to be. And risk review. Well, the risk review, we all have our wonderful safety statements and all the risks at the back. We need to look at those in a holistic manner when we're doing our analysis and seeing where are we at these? Are they outdated? What's new? How can we change them? How can we improve them? Now, around our strategy, that's kind of context. We're looking at where the people we impact in the industry or in our day-to-day life, how we're doing things. So it's all this strategy bit, and we bring health and safety into that. And so our health and safety is not working in a silo. It's actually part of our strategy. It's part of that planning. It's part of the strategy meeting that involves what we do, our environmental and our health and safety, all rolled into one. And we can then share that with the auditor. It does take time, but it's part of any business that is making decisions every day. That strategy bit is really, really important. Improvement projects. So we have actions. So the Black Hat is what we call the projects that we're working on to grow. They're our day-to-day things. So out of our workshops and things like that, we decide, we talk about the things that trip us up. Okay, so we might have a list of 100 things that have tripped us up, and we group them and say, well, that's maintenance, or that's an on-site issue, and so forth. So they're the day-to-day things. They're all the things that keep the whole thing running, all the actions. Now, we have the yellow hat, the entrepreneurial. What do we want to do next? Well, we actually want to work in the retrofit space. And in the retrofit space at the moment, we want to move into deep retrofit. We want to be specialists in deep retrofit. To make that project happen, I have to be aware of what that will mean to our health and safety in the organisation. So every project that we do in Black Hat and Yellow Hat, when we're looking at the actions required, the first action, and because it prioritises, what impact will this have on our health and safety? And again, the auditor is looking and they're saying, okay, this is leadership. This is, they're looking at risk management here, and they're looking, again, context of the organisation. So we're taking our strategic analysis, we're bringing it into projects we can actually make happen. The outcomes and the measurements, so we're talking clause 8, 9, and I suppose 10 with continuous improvement. Our performance, again, very, very simple. What's our health and safety record? Operations, the balanced scorecard. Every department has a balanced scorecard. So quarterly, they have to report back to me on what their outcomes for each of the departments are. The first thing on the top of the list is, what was your health and safety record? Very first thing. Our sales team have to report back on their health and safety record, as well as our manufacturing team, as well as our logistics team. Everybody has to take account for health and safety, and it's in that balanced scorecard. So we are seen to be setting a target for it, and then we're measuring it. We're also setting that everybody is taking account of that target. Objectives, projects, and action plans. Again, this is around this here. Every project has health and safety. What do we need to change? What do we need to do? What risks are new to the organisation? What training does that mean? Again, our customers, then we go back and we ask our customers again. We do our market research. Tell us, score us, where are we on health and safety? Did you feel safe when you were engaging with us? Suppliers was a massive change for us because of this on-site bit. And what we're doing at the moment is we don't physically do the work on site ourselves. It's our subcontractor. So if you like, we're a main contractor and we bring them in. We updated our entire safety statement as if we were physically doing the work. So the best the standard has to offer in terms of safety statements and risk assessments. We have sent that to every subcontractor we work with. At a minimum, they have to be doing what we're doing. And if they think we're doing something wrong, we want to hear about it. If they're doing something better, we want to hear about it. And that safety statement is constantly improving. I love what Tommy said today about getting them all together. And I think that's what our next move should be, because they are an extension of ourselves. They are not a separate. They are my team out there. They're employed by somebody else, but they're still my team. Someone still loves them enough to come home in the evening time. The risk register, the controls. This is something that is is not new for the health and safety, but for us, it's about linking business risk to health and safety risk. So working for us, moving into the retrofit space, all those subcontractors was a commercial risk to us, because before we held on to every single thing that we're doing, we had ownership of. Now we're trusting all these subcontractors to deliver for us on this site. So that's a business risk. But around that business risk come the health and safety risks of now engaging with all those safety guys. We are in this, there's always so when we go back, because it's a loop, it's continuous performance. Our directors, we have our vision and our mission. We're resource allocating. We're looking at our unique selling point all the time. We're looking at we've our management reviews. The leadership part is in the entire thing. But in this simple map, you guys are sitting there going, is that simple? But it is quite simple. We have addressed context. We've addressed leadership. We've addressed risk management. We've addressed support, performance evaluation, and continuous improvement. Bang, 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 bang. Auditor comes in. You've done it, guys. Well done. And it's the link between our strategy, what we do every day, and embedding health and safety in that. Just one of the things that the context asks for is needs and expectations of interested parties. So an employee obviously is a stakeholder. So everybody effectively that engages with the organisation when it comes to health and safety is a stakeholder. One of the things we look at, how do we ensure that it's the needs and expectations. So an employee will our effectiveness to that employee is their mental well-being, for example. Procedure. How do we ensure that we're showing we're looking after the mental well-being? Well, we address this in our training and development, SOP for one. We have an employee handbook, and we have it's also in our safety statement. Evidence. How are you really looking after this? This year we held our dignity and respect workshop for the team. So we brought them all together. What does it mean to talk to each other with respect? How do we make sure we're caring for one another? And it's about more than that as well. The mental well-being, it's about the softer stuff that you can't see, that you can't implement. It's open door. When I talk to the team, the conversation is, how are you? No, like, how are you? How's the workload? Are you bringing anything home? Can you cope? And that's where we are with it. The key to success, believe in health and safety and resource it, that for us. And make people accountable, as I say at all time. Mind yourself. Do you love me enough? The culture makes people accountable. Engagement and participation. The people are doing the job. People doing the job have the best ideas. That's really, really important. They will see risks that you will never see in a million years. We have a cross-functional health and safety committee in the organisation. Our mantra is learn fast, fail fast. but don't live with bad health and safety procedures. It's about owning it. So that mind yourself. Everybody is their own health and safety leader. So everybody's a leader when it comes to health and safety. It's a mind yourself philosophy. Communication is key. It's also linked to our Lean project, and we have a risk-based approach. So it stops you thinking about health and safety in a silo. You have to think about it in terms of every single action that you do in the organisation. And thank you very much for your time today.